Hi there, I'm doing a quick video here to review the tool called QuickMail.io, and this is an email outreach tool. So what this is for is if you're doing mailing to mass prospects to try and find people that potential clients and customers for your product or service. Email campaigns are a really good way of doing that, but the trick is finding a good software that can automate a lot of the stuff. Otherwise, it becomes very painful to try and email hundreds of people manually. So there's a few different email outreach tools there that I've tried. The more popular ones like ToutApp, Yesware. So they work with different tools. Some are plugged into Outlook, some are plugged into Gmail. This one, QuickMail, is really good. It plugs directly into your Google account. So you log in, authenticate with Google, and that becomes your login for the software. And what it does is it's got a lot of the features the other tools do, but the thing I like the most is that some of the scheduling and automation features are really cool. So, for example, I run through how you set up the campaign and what makes it better, what makes it different. I've been using the tool for a couple of weeks now. It's good you get a 2-week trial, so you get to try out all the features and everything, and then you choose which plan you want to go on. I think they have a $37 a month plan and a $67 a month plan, so it just depends what features you need. So let me run through and quickly explain how you use it, how you set it up. It's pretty simple. Once you log in, you have this menu in front of you. You have the dashboard. So the dashboard just kind of explains what's happening this day. So this is 7-day stats. Shows you how many first touch emails have gone out, how many follow-ups have gone out. So this is a very new account. You can see I've just started prospecting on this account. Basically, what you do is you can import your prospects. So if you have it in CSV format, you can import them. What it also can do is it can connect it. You can connect this to a Google Spreadsheets. So you can have a VA do research for leads, put their names and their email addresses into a Google Spreadsheets, and this will automatically detect when there's a change and pull that information in. So it pull a prospect in, and so that automatically goes in here. So that's a really good way to automate the whole gathering prospects and outsourcing that process. If you don't want to give your VA access to your actual tool, your software. The other thing that's cool is you can obviously sort them into groups. So these lists, these prospects go into groups if you're having different campaigns for different types of services or different products. This account I'm using for it's an invitation for people to come on a podcast. So it's a podcast invitation. I'm looking for podcast guests, and I've automated it the whole thing from start to finish. So I'm using Google Alerts to look for certain keywords that are going to pick up breaking news stories in the alternative energy industry, and so it's going to find these stories and it automatically emails them to my VA. So my VA goes through the stories, it finds the people connected to the stories and finds their email addresses, and then that whole process is automated because they put those details into a Google spreadsheet, and then from there it gets pulled into QuickMail. So then from there, what happens with QuickMail is you can tell QuickMail to set up a sequence. So the sequence is obviously how many emails you want to have go out to people, because you need to generally follow up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times to get a good response rate from prospects. So the way that you do that and automate that, because obviously manually is too painful, you can set up different funnels here. So look, this one's got how many touches. This one's got 7 touches. So basically the first email goes out, and then after that it will automatically send out the next one the next business day. Then after that every 3 business days, and it's just basically follow up and say, hey, I wanted to reach out to see if you want to come on the podcast, and then it's just following up on behalf of me. So the software is good because it goes out on behalf of your personal email, so it's not like an autoresponder or Infusionsoft where it shows it's being automated. It looks like it's a very personal email, and it's going to get much better response for that. So you set up your email sequence, you just define that whole campaign, and then you can set up, what's really cool is the schedules. So what the schedule feature does in QuickMail is you can actually tell QuickMail to take 10 prospects every day and start this campaign. So take 10 prospects from a certain group and add them to this sequence. So you can see here I've got these sequences scheduled for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So on every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it's going to take 10 prospects that are in this group. And this group, again, this is the one that's being auto-imported from Google Spreadsheets. So it's going to take 10 and it's going to start sending out this sequence podcast invitation, and then it's just going to keep running through that sequence until they detects a reply. Now this is the part I had a big problem with when I was setting it up, is that you have to be very careful about the primary email account that's linked to your Google account. If you have a Gmail, if you have a Gmail on your Google account, it's not gonna work very well. I had a few bugs with that, so you want to be careful to make sure that if you want emails going out from your domain, that email is the one that's on the primary account. And actually, if you have a Gmail on your account, you can't change your primary email. It's very silly Google restrictions. So you need to delete Gmail from your Google account before you can use your primary, domain email that you want. Otherwise, it's not going to detect the replies. And what I mean by that is, if someone's replying to one of your emails, you want to stop the sequence. You don't want to keep emailing them because it's obviously going to look very automated and very, it's not very personal. So the whole point of this software is to do that part for you. Otherwise, you have to go in every time, pause the sequence, and that whole manual thing can take a lot of time, especially if you have to catch it very quickly. Otherwise, say your next reply is supposed to go out the next day or the next 2 days, you only have 2 days to catch it and pause that follow-up. Otherwise, that client, that prospect is going to see the next automated email, and you don't want that. So if you're able to set it up properly with a Google account being the proper domain and the proper email that you want to send out from, it's going to detect any replies, which means even if you're emailing someone and their assistant picks it up, or it gets forwarded to someone else and they reply, it's going to pick up that whole trail and that whole thread, and it's going to pause the original follow-up to the original contact, the prospect you had in there. So that is the feature that I really like the most. There's not many out there that do that. I think there's a couple like Outreach.io, maybe a few other ones, but this is the feature that really saves a lot of time because it automates everything, makes it look really personal, and it also auto-detects replies and switches them off. So that's what I like the most about this feature. Also, the auto import of leads into the software is really great from the Google spreadsheet, so you can just have your VA or someone in your team outsourcing that, working on a list of leads, and it will automatically import them. So all you need to do is work on the copy and the sequence. You can A/B test those. So I could have two different sequences here: podcast invitation A and B, and have two slightly different, subject lines or copy in the emails, and then I can actually split test the response rate. So if you look at your reports and your dashboard, you can see which one's converting better, which one's getting a better open rate, response rate, and etc. etc. So it's pretty easy to do split testing in here. It's pretty straightforward, which is what I like as well. Yeah, I think it's pretty good value for money. I'm not sure what other features I would look for. I think Jeremy's quite good. He's working all the time, so if you have any requests or any bugs that you see, he's very quick to pick it up, and he really helped me a lot with the setup. So it's nice to have someone that's always around, because sometimes you try software out and you just can't get any help, can't get any response. That's one of the major frustrations of getting these type of things working. But so far it's been pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with it. For $37 a month, $67 a month, it's saving me tons of time to do all these emails myself and follow up. In terms of once you have the technical stuff down, obviously the results are really going to depend on your copy and your sequence. So also on the quickmail.io blog, there's a lot of tutorial videos for how to set this all up, so it's quite straightforward. And he has some articles and blog posts from other people using his tool. So these are people giving recommendations what type of copy to use. Really, I think that the key takeaways is it depends on your audience, but you want to try and make it appear conversational and casual, so it really looks like a personal email. You want to keep it short and to the point. You have really long emails talking about you all the time, what the benefit is to you and not the benefit to them. Then it's going to be very hard for you to get a response rate. So you want to make your email short to the point. Obviously, try and make sure your list is targeted in the first place. What I do is I include a link to the story where I found them, so that makes it quite personal. It looks like I've actually come across their story and included that in the email, so that makes it very personalized. And yeah, so that's what's working for me. Just keep it short to the point. I do a follow-up on the second follow-up is the day after, and then after that it's every 3 business days, and I've got like 7 touches so far. Most of the responses are coming on the third follow-up, so that's the second follow-up. So that's one email goes out, let's say Tuesday, then there's a follow-up on Wednesday, and then there's another follow-up 3 business days, which would be the next Monday, and it's on that email where I'm getting the most responses. So if that's what's working for me. If you want to see my sequence, I'm happy to share it with you. What's really cool about this is you can actually share your whole sequence with another QuickMail user, and they can import it into their campaign. So that's a way to save a lot of time if you have someone else using the tool, or you want to share it with another team member or something. You can also switch Google accounts inside the software. I think that's a feature he's working on. So because it's a little bit tricky, because this is tied to Google account. If you have multiple Google accounts and you're logging in and logging out all day, it can really get confusing. If you log in with a new Google account, suddenly you have a new account and all your stuff is gone. So you just need to make sure you're logged in on the right browser. What I do is I have one browser just for this, so maybe one Chrome window or one Firefox window, and I'm always logged into the right Google account for this software. So that every time I log in, it's right, it's there, it's easy to use. But there is a feature coming where you can switch accounts, so that's obviously going to make it a lot easier to be able to, have multiple Google accounts without that interfering with the tool. So yeah, that's a quick review. I think it's really cool, and yeah, happy this tool's finally out there. I've been trying so many tools for the last 6 to 18 months, and every time there's been something I didn't like with it. It's been buggy. So this is the best one so far that I've seen, and very happy with it. So yeah, try it out. Let me know. Let me know what you try out with. If you get stuck or you need tips with copy, post a question below. I'll see if I can help.